The Nigerian military says it has technically defeated Boko Haram in the northeast, and that was achieved with the collaboration of forces from countries in the Lake Chad Basin under the Multinational Joint Task Force. What is being done now to sustain the tempo as the military hopes to close down the insurgents? On this week's edition of the program, we take a look at the fight against insurgency. There. Thank you for joining me on the program. This week, I'm Gloria Umezuke. The Multinational Joint Task Force is a combined force from the countries that make up the Lake Chad Basin. Well, this includes Nigeria, Chad, Cameroon, and Niger Republic. Together, the force has been battling the activities of the Boko Haram sect in the area. I spoke with the force commander of the task team on the fight against insurgency. But coming up next, the Chief of Army Staff has ordered a new phase of military training aimed at enhancing the capacity and operations of troops engaged in the fight against Boko Haram, Niger Delta militants, and armed herdsmen. Take a listen. The Chief of Defense Staff, General Gabriel Olunisaki, accompanied by the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, inspecting a guard of honor at the Nigerian Army School of Military Engineers, Makurdi. The military hierarchy is in the Benue State capital for the second and third quarter conference of the Chief of Army Staff. The Chief of Defense Staff declared the conference open by setting new intelligence and operational targets for the Nigerian Army.
I believe this forum will provide the opportunity to appreciate the enormity of the responsibility expected of the Nigerian Army and to deliberate on the performances of the Nigerian Army in the past 2 quarters of the year. I therefore charge you to deliberate extensively, to evolve strategies, to enhance your approach to the security challenges facing our dear nation.
In his address, the Chief of Army Staff ordered a new counter-terrorism training and operation for troops engaged in combating general insecurity, including the fight against insurgency.
In order to consolidate on the gains so far attained by the Nigerian Army, I have directed the conduct of major training exercises in identified and potential trouble areas. This is with a view to clamping down or otherwise deter criminal elements from perpetrating their illicit acts against the country.
Nigeria is facing contemporary security challenges, including the Boko Haram insurgency, the Niger Delta militants, and the armed herdsmen. These military men will be hoping to come up with the strategies to combat insecurity in the country. I had a conversation with Major General Lamidi Adeosun on how the Multinational Joint Task Force are fighting the insurgents. Major General Lamidi Adeosun, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Now, where are we in this fight against insurgency in the northeast?
A lot has been done and has been achieved at not only degrading, but incapacitating Boko Haram. Hitherto, we know how effective and leader Boko Haram was in everything, both use of improvised explosive devices, use of human-borne IED, use of military equipment, which include tanks, APCs, and all forms of military weapons. But as of today, you cannot see them with most of those things again. It's either we have destroyed them or we have captured them. They have the capacity up to now to still use the small arms because until it is over, it cannot yet be over. So we are still on them.
How do you exactly make sure that these weapons are cut short?
Okay. On the ground, the best we can do is to mount blockade and ensure all the areas where we are, there's no gaps for seepage of movement of such weapons. But you know, if you look at our boundaries, our borders, not only that of Nigeria, when you look at the countries that are badly hit by Boko Haram menace, you talk of Nigeria, look at Nigerian border with Cameroon, look at the stretch. Look at Nigerian border with Niger, look at how long and wide and expansive it is. Look at Nigerian border with Chad. The same thing at the other side too. And as Boko Haram does not, or terrorism, like that of Boko Haram, they don't respect borders.
Exactly, because we know that the group takes advantage of the fluid border controls to perpetrate, their menace.
Yes.
How do you take hold of this?
Multinational Joint Task Force has been in existence since the 90s, early 90s, but very effective, like I always say, since 1998 in combating banditry within the Lake Chad Basin region. But with the advent of Boko Haram and its dastard activities, you discover that Multinational Joint Task Force headquarters, which was initially located in Baga, was rooted. All its deployments into the hinterland were all rooted, and they found themselves withdrawing. Those that were not killed managed to withdraw to Maiduguri. So with that, there was nothing like Multinational Joint Task Force again at the peak of Boko Haram menace. While Nigeria, through 7th Division then, was able to recapture Baga and a few other places from that axis, there was work and plan by the political leadership of the countries involved in this Multinational Joint Task Force, seeing that, yes, even if the route is in Nigeria, the effect covers the entire sub-region. So they came up and reorganized, reinvigorate, and re-established Multinational Joint Task Force. This time around, located its headquarters at N'Djamena.
How much cooperation do you get from other countries?
As force commander of the organization, I have direct access to both military and political leadership or defense leadership of all the countries at military strategic and political strategic level. That's an indicator of willing cooperation and support. Then back to the ground where I hold sway, where I command. I have 4 sectors. It used to be 3 sectors and a subsector. I have 4 sectors. Sector 1, Cameroon. Sector 2, Chad. Sector 3, my own country, Nigeria. And now Sector 4, it used to be subsector 3, under Sector 3 in Baga, but now it's a full-fledged sector of its own. That's in Niger, the headquarters located in Difa. And when you look at the deployment of Multinational Joint Task Force, it's a unique force, unlike any other one before. It has no model like that of any UN peacekeeping deployment or AU peacekeeping deployment. Where am I going? For UN or AU peacekeeping deployment, in most cases, all troops meant for that operation are domiciled in one country. But for this, it is not, because also the operation itself is unique. It's terrorism, not only nationalized insurgency. So troops of my Sector 1 are all deployed within Cameroonian borders. My Sector 2 deployed within Chadian borders. Sector 3 deployed within Nigerian borders. So also Sector 4 deployed within Nigerian borders.
Hold on with your thoughts. We're still with Major General Lamidi Adeosun. We'll be right back on issues to do with security across borders. Join us again.